George Lucas has stopped making Star Wars movies so he can make this. You're watching Beyond the Trailer's review of Strange Magic.
Release my sister!
Give me the potion by moondown. Never see your
We must rescue Dawn! Who's with me? Booties, prepare to be shaken. I say, hey, I'll be gone today. I'll be back around the way.
Uh-oh.
You want an adventure? You got it.
Thank you, Tiny Rabbit.
Spit.
When Disney purchased Lucasfilm in 2012 for $4 billion, bet they didn't realize they were getting another animation division to boot. Yes, now Disney has their own animation studio, Pixar, and Lucasfilm, whose pictures are animated through Industrial Light and Magic, and who was already in the process of animating Strange Magic when Disney bought their parent company. But perhaps the efforts to distribute Strange Magic and the potential slight dilution of their animation offerings is a worthwhile exchange to keep Lucas out of Star Wars business, which so far, sans Lucas, seems to be doing pretty darn well. And to be fair, Lucas is a great idea man. He not only up Star Wars, but also Indiana Jones, and has had success in the fantasy realm as well, collaborating with Jim Henson for Labyrinth and with Ron Howard for Willow, which I really liked. Strange Magic is Lucas's take on A Midsummer Night's Dream, just as Avatar was James Cameron's take on Pocahontas. Here, Lucas is collaborating with Academy Award-winning sound designer Gary Rydstrom, who worked at Skywalker Sound for the bulk of his career before he himself moved to Disney and tried to transition into directing over at Pixar. Alas, he only got to make the shorts Lifted and Hawaiian Vacation, while his planned feature Newt died in turnaround. Outside of Pixar, though, Disney did have Rydstrom direct the English-language voice recordings for several recent Studio Ghibli films, including The Wind Rises. And now that he's finally directing his debut feature, he's assembled another impressive voice cast. Alan Cumming, Evan Rachel Wood, Kristen Chenoweth, Maya Rudolph, Alfred Molina, and Peter Stormare are all featured. But in an odd choice for a Disney animated film, no original music is featured. Instead, Strange Magic takes a page from Glee's songbook, presenting new versions of popular hits that reflect on the story at hand. So, after live-action movies and video games, is animation the next frontier for Lucasfilm? Or evidence as to why the studio really needed to be rescued from its founder?
Boy, did I not want to see this movie. I was dreading it, but I'm so happy I made myself go, because it's really good. Yes, it turns out George Lucas is still a good idea man, and maybe Disney shouldn't have thrown out his treatments for episodes 7 through 9. Now, I'm sure right now some of you are saying, I'm sorry, Grace, but I just don't believe that Strange Magic is good. And I think that's all based on George Lucas destroying his reputation with those Star Wars prequels. And it's really a shame he's done that, as he's lost a tremendous amount of credibility at this point. But let's remember, when George Lucas is willing to pass the ball to others, as he has done in the past with, say, Indiana Jones or the later Star Wars, the original Star Wars films, particularly after Episode 4, it turns out beautifully, and that's what he's done here. He came up with the story, but then he passed the ball to Gary Rydstrom and his team, and they really did a great job running with it. Now, to be fair, this isn't the best animated movie you'll ever see. I don't want to oversell this, but it's really a great little gem. And in fact, I would also say a really good date movie. And that's because it explores love from a different perspective. And if you enjoyed movies like Frozen and Maleficent for, altering the standard fairy tale storylines and outcomes, then I think you're really going to like Strange Magic as well. It was a really cute and romantic movie. And I had a smile on my face for a good part of it, like you do when you're watching really good, say, romantic comedies, right? You're just like, oh, I can't wait to see these people get together. Now, that said, the end conclusions are very obvious. As soon as the movie starts, even from the trailer, I think we called what the couple is going to be. Although there's some things that are not in the trailer. But even though we know how the movie's going to end, I think that because the character design and the character development is so strong and the voice work is so good, that you enjoy the journey despite knowing the destination. Now, as I said, there's also a lot of stuff in the movie that's not in the trailer, and because of that, there are also small surprises that are really enjoyable. Every character is just so much fun and to follow around in the story, but there's also just a lot of great character design and production design. Like, there are so many times when I was watching this movie where I was like, I want one of those, and I want one of those. They were just like these adorable little miniatures, just, begging to be sold at a merchandise store. And let me just say, in particular, the mushrooms that are imagined in this movie are adorable. I just love them. I mean, so often you're looking at something and you're like, that's kind of weird looking, but they managed to make it really cute anyway. And that's something that also really impressed me about the film. We know it's going to be well animated because it's Industrial Light and Magic, but I didn't expect the kind of cuteness and the heart that are so prevalent throughout the entire film. So again, I know it's a tough sell. I know it's hard to believe that George Lucas did a good job with something, but I think that if you have an open mind and you realize that, the songs are hard to get through. That was one point in the movie where I was like, I'm having a hard time. But I would say 80% of this movie is not just good, but top-notch from top to bottom. So that's my review of Strange Magic. If you've seen the film, if you managed to convince yourself to go and see it, were you as pleasantly surprised as I was? Or are you like, nope, called it, George Lucas still doesn't know what he's doing? So write your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you can check out some more episodes right now.